Are weighted hula hoops safe to use for exercise and weight loss? No. Weighted hula hoops are not safe unless you follow the 5 important safety rules that I'm going to talk about in this video. So you better listen up. Rule number 1 on this list, a very important rule. Do you have any health issues that might make using a weighted hula hoop unsafe? Using a weighted hula hoop can lead to repetitive movements. If you have a past or current health issue, such as problems with your back, or anything where doing the movements to spin a hula hoop could possibly worsen your health, then I advise you to talk with your doctor first before hooping. Now, I can't say if using a weighted hula hoop is right for your health situation or not, but if you do plan to use a weighted hula hoop consistently in your workouts, to be on the safe side, it might be a smart idea to talk with a medical professional first before using your weighted hula hoop. Moving on to rule number 2. This rule might sound like common sense, but follow the safety instructions that come with your weighted hula hoop. An article from shape.com shared about a TikToker who experienced an abdominal hernia from overusing a weighted hula hoop. If the safety guidelines for your weighted hula hoop say not to exceed X amount of minutes of usage, then I recommend not exceeding that many minutes. And just so the previous example of the person that I talked about from TikTok doesn't scare you off, in all my years of hula hooping, that is the only time to the point of making this video that I have ever heard of anybody getting an abdominal hernia from using any kind of hula hoop. Now, some of you out there may be wondering, why haven't I just told you how long you should use a weighted hula hoop for? Well, part of the reason why I haven't done that is because there's just so many weighted hula hoop options out there. As hoops start to get heavier in weight, I would expect that the max usage time would start to decrease. Whereas hoops on the lighter side, I imagine could be used for longer periods of time. The frequency and how long you should use your hoop for may vary depending on the weighted hula hoop you get, along with your health status. Now, if you do get a weighted hula hoop and you try it out and you're like, wow, this is just way too easy, and you're just maxing out the usage time that is recommended, well then I'd say at that point, if you feel like you must hula hoop for a longer period of time, if you talk to a medical professional and they say, hey, look, what's recommended with your weighted hoop, I feel like you could probably do more than that, and they say it's okay to do that, then, you know, maybe it's okay. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put the ball in your court on that one. I'm not the one who's telling you to use your weighted hula hoop beyond what is recommended in these safety instructions. So please don't sue me. Now, what if your weighted hula hoop didn't come with safety instructions? Well, in that case, I would recommend contacting the seller and requesting them, or just returning your hoop and giving the seller a poor review. Because frankly, I feel that it is unacceptable for a seller to sell weighted hula hoops and not provide safety instructions. Weighted hula hoops can be like exercise equipment. If used incorrectly, you could hurt yourself. Also, something else to think about when using a weighted hula hoop, multiple people out there have said that they have gotten bruises. Now, if a person is experiencing bruising, it does make me wonder if they are following the safety instructions with their weighted hula hoop. It also makes me wonder if they are using a much heavier weighted hula hoop, or if they are using a weighted hula hoop with notches or bumps that stick out like this. Using a weighted hula hoop should not be full of pain and lots of bruises, because if that is something you are experiencing, then I recommend stopping immediately and seeking medical attention if needed, along with checking in with yourself to see if the current weighted hoop you are using is right for you, or if you are overdoing it or possibly using your weighted hoop incorrectly. My motto is, you don't have to use your hoop to beat yourself up to get a good workout, which leads me into rule number 3 on this list. Rule number 3, the weight, the size, and type of your weighted hoop matter. When it comes to weighted hula hoops, there are a bunch of different options out there, including the different sizes and weights. Some hoops have padding, some hoops are bigger and smaller, some have bumps or notches that stick out. But with all these options out there, which one is the best for you to use? And to help answer that question, I wanna show you some footage right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and try this 5-pound weighted hoop. This is actually the first time ever me trying this thing, and this thing is so heavy. Oh man, oh. Whoa, this thing is so heavy. It feels like it's like massaging my kidneys or something, and I'm going to like implode. I definitely don't recommend for the beginners out there that you get a 5-pound hula hoop, because this thing is ridiculously heavy. Wow. the heavier the hoop is, especially those heavier weighted hula hoops out there, I do feel like using something like that can increase your risk for getting bruising, but also maybe even the possibility of injury. Now, in terms of what weight is best for a hoop, that is a tricky question to answer because not all people may benefit from using the same hoop weight. What works for someone else may not work for you. When selecting a weighted hula hoop, you might want to be cautious and get something on the lighter side versus getting stuck with something too heavy that is painful and not fun to use. Personally, I don't think it's necessary to use a hula hoop above 2 pounds in weight to get a nice workout. Also too, I don't recommend getting a weighted hula hoop with these bumps or notches that stick out. No. Depending on the severity of the bumps and notches that stick out, especially if those bumps are on the harder side, they can sometimes cause pain and discomfort. Instead, I recommend using a padded weighted hoop. If you are looking to get a weighted hoop or regular hoop that I would recommend, you can do so by checking out my affiliate links in the description of this video. If you bruise easily, though this approach may not work for everyone, you might want to try wearing some thick clothing or some extra padding around your waist to even give more cushioning as the hoop spins around. For some people out there, even a 2-pound weighted hula hoop might be too heavy to use, especially for the people out there that want to do a bunch of different hula hoop tricks. If your back and core muscles are super weak, you might just want to even start out with a regular hoop size. And if a regular hula hoop is too much to handle, well then you might just want to even do some core body strengthening, also some stretching before you even start hula hooping. Rule number 1 on this list in regards to what your current health status is a huge contributing factor to which hoop may work best for you. If you're relying on a super heavy hoop with notches sticking out to gouge into your stomach each time that hoop spins around to trim your waistline, well then you might want to rethink the way you're approaching weighted hula hoops. This leads me into the 4th rule of weighted hula hoop safety. How you use your hoop is the key to getting a good workout, not the hoop itself. I really want you to think about that for a moment. You do not have to buy a 5-pound weighted hula hoop like this with bumps sticking out. You could be using a hoop that is under 2 pounds in weight and be sweating all over because you got such a great workout. For the people out there that are already able to hula hoop around their waist and you want to get a higher intensity workout, then what I would recommend doing is practicing some movement while you are hooping. Even just stepping with your hoop, so going, stepping forward, stepping backwards, also doing some side stepping, and then also doing some arm movements as well. I feel like just adding those extra little things into your workout can really ramp up the intensity level. Hula hooping can really be like a dance. So what I would recommend doing is really just trying to dance with your hoop as well. I feel like that can also provide a great workout. And it's something that you really don't need that heavy of a hoop to do. Something else I recommend practicing is spinning your hoop in the opposite direction as well. So once again, rule number 4, the key here is it's how you use your hula hoop to get a nice workout versus the hoop itself working you out. Okay, moving on to the last rule, but also an important rule, rule number 5, listen to your body. Just because someone else on the internet is doing some weighted hula hoop challenge or weighted hula hoop workout, it may or may not be the best thing for you to do. Learn what weighted hula hoop practices are best for you. If you start to experience pain or bruising, then you might want to stop using your hoop and check in with yourself and see if the current hoop you are using is right for you or if your current workout plan needs to be adjusted. Using a weighted hula hoop doesn't have to be super painful. So rule number 5, a very important rule, listen to your body when using your weighted hula hoop. With all that said in this video, are weighted hula hoops safe to use? My answer to that question is yes, I do believe that weighted hula hoops are safe to use if you follow the safety tips that I mentioned in this video. Now it's time for a quick review. Rule number 1, what is your health status? Is your body in a healthy place where you can use a weighted hula hoop? Rule number 2, follow the safety guidelines that came with your weighted hoop. Rule number 3, the weight and type of your hoop matters. I recommend getting a weighted hula hoop on the lighter side without notches or bumps. Rule number 4, it's how you use your hoop that gives you a nice workout, not the hoop itself. Rule number 5, Listen to your body when using your weighted hula hoop. If you have found this info helpful, please like this video and subscribe. For those of you out there that are interested in watching some more weighted hula hoop videos, especially if you want to learn how to hula hoop, then I recommend checking out my video playlist right here. Thank you for watching. Until next time, enjoy.